Hey friend, welcome to Ask Dr. Betters. Your questions are beautiful. There is no question too big or too small that I won't consider using this format to answer. One of those questions came to me that I remember years ago when I was still in another denomination, that this question came up, and it's come up many times since then. Somebody named John wants to know, hey brother, the Lord's commandment says that we are to call no man in the spiritual sense our fathers. That's from Matthew 23 and verse 9. But Paul says in 1 Corinthians 4:15, he seems to assert himself as the father, a father to the Corinthians, seemingly in contradiction to where Jesus said, call no earthly man your father. How do you reconcile this seeming contradiction? Well, in Matthew 23:9, what Jesus is forbidding is calling someone their teacher, their rabbi, their master. Not in the professional sense. Like if you belong to a Jewish synagogue, he's not saying you cannot call your rabbi, or a Catholic to call their priest father, or in a Protestant denomination to call somebody their pastor or their teacher. That's not what he's talking about. When he says call no man in the earthly sense your father, what he's saying is do not refer to anyone as your final authority. Do not refer to anyone as your master of doctrine, of thought. In fact, elsewhere, he would tell one of his churches, he would say to them about another church, he says, be like the Berean Christians. When I teach them something, listen, they check it out to see whether or not it's true. Now, our final source of authority is the Bible. That is where the words of 66 chapters of this one book, these 66 books of the Bible, are our final authority. They are our, in the earthly sense of the word, they are what he's referring to when he says they are our Father. They are our final authority, our final place to find or to discover truth is right here in the scriptures. Don't refer to anybody else in that way. No cult leader, no additional scriptures, no book, no writing, no author, no great preacher is our final authority. That's what he means when he says, don't refer to any earthly thing, person, place, book, or any such thing as your final arbiter of truth. Only Christ is that, the incarnate word. Only the scriptures are that, the written word. That's our final authority. So there's no contradiction here between those two verses. Paul was in the process of writing most of the New Testament. So in a spiritual sense of the word, what he taught them was biblical truth, final truth. The final arbiter of truth is the holy book we call the Bible. So in that sense of the word, we are to call no earthly man or earthly book our Father. You know, it's amazing how Christians get caught onto things. It's amazing how quickly we form mini cults out of great books that were written. We find a book that we really like. We pass it on to our neighbor. We put it on Facebook. We tell everybody, you've got to read this new novel. Well, it's just that, perhaps. A novel or a book. You got to read this commentary. Well, what is it? It's just that, a commentary. What we really need to get down to is reading the scriptures as our final arbiter of truth and not making little mini cults out of things that really impress us, that may contain a lot of truth. But the only book that is the truth is the Bible. It doesn't just contain the Word of God, it is the Word of God.
Hello, my name is Danielle Cantler, team member here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you so much for your continued support of this video series. Ask Dr. Betters is not meant to be a substitute for professional counseling, but instead is designed to extract the biblical principles around the questions being asked. We encourage you to seek professional counseling if needed. Professional counselors are ready to assist you at Anchored Hope Biblical Counseling. See the links below for more information on Anchored Hope and all of the free resources we offer here at MARKINC Ministries. Thank you for watching and welcome to the MARKINC family.